whiskey review. Today looking at this tasty cask strength whiskey from Amrut. Now I've only previously tried three entry-level Amruts, which is the standard single malt, the peated and the fusion. Three really good whiskies, all retail for just under $100, which is pretty good value. Young whiskies, but as you might already know, the Indian single malts from Amrut and the other one which I really enjoy, Paul John. These whiskies being in sort of high heat, high humidity climates, age quite rapidly. So where maybe a 5 to 7 year old whiskey from Scotland might not be all that appealing, but a 5 to 7 year old whiskey from India, especially the single malt, tends to be quite a lot more matured and advanced in characters and colors. Now this one in particular, there's no age statement obviously, bottled at 61.8% and just says aged in oak barrels. I didn't necessarily try to do too much research what sort of oak barrels they are using. Let's just assume they are ex-bourbon barrels. I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe I should have done some research, but I sometimes just like not knowing what exactly is going on. Amrut, just, beautiful distillery. They've been around for some time now. Just one thing to point out, this one has been rated 94 points out of 100 by Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible. 94 out of 100. You can't really go wrong with that. It comes with this little booklet which talks a little bit about the distillery, all the awards they picked up, and their core range of whiskey information in there. Here we go. It's got the cask strength in there as well. Where are we? Tell me what kind of cask? No, they're not going to tell me. It's a secret. Well, I'm just going to assume it's ex-bourbon cask. Well, let's see what's it like on the nose to begin with. As you can probably tell, the bottle is already open because the bottle actually doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my friend Tim, who graciously offered me to review it because he said, look, do you want to do a review and then just give me the bottle later. Him and I, when he did get the bottle, tried a little bit out of it. So I've tried it before, but that was just during a normal working day, and then you can't really understand the whiskey, because you don't have the proper glass with you. But I do remember enjoying it. It was quite pleasant. And as I poured a bit of it at 61.8%, I can sort of get that fruity tropical fruit character all the way from here. It's still coming, it's traveling up, which is probably speaking up how good this whiskey is potentially. Mangoes. Is that mangoes? Yeah. Oh, so good. Beautiful, gorgeous tropical fruit character. I mean, if you have trained yourself to nose a whiskey properly, you're nosing from the top of the glass, you shouldn't really be getting any harshness from the high ABV, which you will get if you nose it from the bottom of the, just here. I'll do a whole video around it. I think it will help everyone. But the tropical sweetness is just really good. And there's a bit of oak in between. And just a very tiny hint of cinnamon, just a little bit. Maybe a bit of caramel, but no peat, no spice whatsoever, just sweetness. And as it's spending just a little bit more time in the glass, the notes on the nose are becoming just a little bit more earthy, or more towards, can't quite remember, there's a particular biscuit I used to have as a child growing up in India. I can definitely smell that on the nose. I can't remember the name, it's going to bug me. I'll think of it later. Well, let's see what it's like on the palate. Wow. 61.8% ABV. I don't think words are required to explain that's very high in ABV, because My palate's on fire. It's fiery. Not spicy or peaty, but just the ABVs just hit me. I haven't really had anything else to drink today, alcohol-wise. So my palate is just under attack. But as it calms down a little bit, the tropical sweet character that was on the nose is carrying on to the palate as well. That sort of cereal character is there as well. Let's have another sip. Kind of tastes like if you eat some malted barley, which I've done quite a bit. Not necessarily in New Zealand, but just when I was in Scotland and going all these distillery tours. Probably shouldn't share this, but I was always taking a sort of half a handful and just putting it into my pocket. I think it's perfectly good snack, and the characters of this on the palate is reminding me of it. Quite nice. Quite dry on the palate now, actually. I did sip it before, and I remember it being a lot more juicy and fruity. But I might just add a couple of drops of water just to see if it helps bring out a little bit more of the sweetness on the nose and the palate. Oh. So on the nose, there's just tiny hints of citrus now. And that tropical sweetness is there. It's sort of lingering in the background, but it's a lot less, and more of the citrus is coming forward. Very nice. Very easy drinking, and a pleasant whiskey to smell. Well, let's see what the water's done on the palate. Yeah, not as attacking the second time now that my palate was a bit used to the whiskey. That malty character is still there. It actually reminds me of a particular cereal as well. So there's an Indian biscuit brand in a particular cereal. I can sort of find the flavors, but the brands of both is not coming to mind, which would be helpful, obviously. But it is good, and they're nice characters. The finish, it's there, it's lingering. It's not overly sweet anymore. Quite dry, actually, rather dry. And the sweetness is disappearing. So the finish, I would probably say short to medium at the best. Quite nice. Enjoyed it. Good whiskey. Now, I don't remember what it retails for, but I'm just going to have a guess. I think it's 150 to 160 New Zealand dollars, which is quite a lot of money. That buys you a 12 or a 13-year-old single cask Benriach, or some other single cask stuff, which will be at cask strength as well. So you're kind of paying the same money for a young cask strength whiskey. But I would say this is worth trying at least once, just like everything from Amrut. Until you try it, you don't really know what it's all about. And Indian single malts, they are completely different, a whole different game from Irish, Japanese, or Scottish whiskies. So definitely worth a try once. I'm looking forward to opening some of the other older expressions, and when I say older, I think they're on 8-year-old. Some 8-year-old expressions from Amrut, which are currently sitting in my collection, but that's for another day. Well, I hope you found that useful. If you're liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future with another review. See you.